I'm naked without my glasses. Sequid, I'm glad you're here. I need every viewer I can get on this Detroit Diesel channel. Oh. What is this I'm cut from a different cloth nonsense? Bully, I'm checking in from Michigan here. What do you think about what the governor is doing here? I am ashamed of my home state of Michigan, what's going on there. I think that governor needs to be, I don't know if you, I'm not, I think, all right, I'm stuttering like an idiot. The next time she's up for re-election, you need to vote in a Republican. She needs to hit the road. I really don't know if she's done anything impeachable to remove her from office. Technically, she hasn't, even though it's not the will of the people. To remove someone from office, there really should be a crime. It's not under our Constitution. It's really not right to remove someone from office just because you don't like them. I mean, the Democrats are trying to do that to Trump. Remove him from office simply because they don't like him. And that's wrong. So, for me to advocate the people of Michigan to do the exact same thing to a Democrat, that would make me a hypocrite. And I try not to be a hypocrite. And it's a difficult task. Checking in from Boca, the Democrats stopped our governor from opening up South Florida. I don't know exactly how. I don't know the truth behind that. I listen to Ron DeSantis as much as I can when I'm on the road. I really like Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida. I see him as a potential presidential candidate in 2024 because I don't think Mike Pence, the vice president, is very electable. Mike Pence, and I'm gonna try and use the word tool in a nice way. Mike Pence is a tool. Trump used Mike Pence as a tool to get the holy rollers. What do you call them? What's that segment? I'm a little buzzed right now. What do they call that? The Christians, that vote, whatever. Move on. So anyway, I listened to Ron DeSantis quite a bit. Evangelicals, there you go. Thank you. So Mike Pence he was there to help Trump get the evangelical vote. On his own, he cannot win. I don't think. But he did add something to the Trump ticket. He's a tool. And not in a bad way, a good way. So anyway, I love Ron DeSantis. I think during this whole COVID-19 shit, Don Trump Jr., I love Don Trump Jr. He's funny as fuck. Anyway, I really think Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida, has done a pretty decent job during all this. He was reluctant to shut down the economy. He almost wanted to go to the South Dakota route where you don't shut down anything. But then I think Miami Miami turned into a complete shithole, and he had to do what he had to do. Like northwestern Florida, up there in the Panhandle, which is basically southern Alabama, there's hardly any COVID-19. So Governor DeSantis excluded Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach counties from his phase 1 opening, which starts Sunday at midnight, tomorrow night at 12. Phase 1 begins. But Dade, which is Miami, Broward, which is Fort Lauderdale, and Palm Beach, which is basically West Palm Beach, where Trump flies to, Palm Beach International Airport, where Trump does his golfing at his Florida home. Those 3 counties are excluded from Governor DeSantis' phase 1 reopening. And it sucks because that's where all my friends and family are, is over there in not Dade, but Broward and Palm Beach. So I don't know. I love DeSantis. I really do. I would vote for the guy for president in 2024. The only thing DeSantis has done to piss me off is when Trump announced his guidelines for these phases of reopening the economy, Trump included gyms and health clubs in phase 1. And Governor DeSantis, for some reason, has excluded gyms and health clubs from phase 1. Which is fucked. Absolutely fucked. Because gym rats are the healthiest segment of our society. We're the ones who take supplements. We're the ones who take vitamins and minerals. We're the ones who try and get enough rest before the gym. We're the ones who drink plenty of water. We're the ones taking amino acids. We're the ones doing pre-workout. We're the ones doing post-workout. All that nutrition, and all that health, attention to health. Look, gym rats are the ones who do the cardio. I don't know, maybe that's what he's afraid of, like people doing cardio and breathing out the virus. Dude, gym rats aren't going to catch this shit. Gyms are a fucking bacteria nightmare. Always have been. People did this whole wipe down the equipment with that sanitizer bullshit. It wasn't always like that. Those of you guys that are my age, that remember working out in gyms in the 80s, there was no sanitizer. There was no wiping down the equipment. If you didn't like the guy's sweat on the machine, you carried your own towel. And you wiped off the bench with your own towel. Shit wasn't provided for you. What are you, some kind of pussy? So, those of us who have been gym rats for 30, almost 40 years, our immunity is sick strong. Like, I could probably eat a bunch of HIV infected meat and not get it. I mean, that's an exaggeration. But, so opening up the gyms and giving your strongest people a chance to go out there and increase your herd immunity. Because you want your gym rats. See, there's gym rats who have real good immune systems may not have been exposed to the virus yet. You almost want them to get it and recover and have the antibodies in their blood. Because if a gym rat gets sick, gym rats generally take better care of themselves when they're sick. You know, like an alcoholic is going to continue to drink when he's sick. Your average person is going to continue to smoke cigarettes when they're sick. A gym rat, when he gets sick, he quarantines himself out of choice, not the government. And he loads up on fluids, and he jacks up his vitamins, and he makes sure that every nutrient available under the sun that can help him recover and build his immunity, he's putting in his body. So those are the people that we need out there increasing our herd immunity. We don't need gym rats being fucking quarantined. Oh God. Yeah, I am so against that wiping down the shit. It should be up to the next person using the machine to wipe it down if they want it clean, not the person that just used it. Like, think about it. When you go use a suntan bed, are you trusting the last person cleaned it? Or are you going to clean it yourself? So, the gym should be the same way. Don't trust that the previous person cleaned it. You clean it if you're uncomfortable. So Governor DeSantis let me down, not including gyms and health clubs in phase one. Georgia, the gyms have been open since last week. Not this week. Today's Saturday. We're still in this week. I'm talking last week. The gyms were open in Georgia. And I don't know. Are the numbers in on Georgia yet? If Georgia's numbers are not increasing, then the Georgia governor deserves the Presidential Medal of Freedom. And everybody needs to copy the Georgia, not everybody needs to copy the Georgia plan, because some states are shitholes. And not all parts of states that are shitholes, if that makes sense. Like Washington, for example. Seattle's a complete shithole. But the rest of the state is nice. But Seattle has so many Democrats that vote that they're turning the whole state into a shithole. And Oregon the same way. Portland, Oregon is a shithole. The whole rest of the state is nice. But because there's so many voters in Portland, they're turning the entire state into a shithole. So that's that. This virus has divided our country politically like nothing I've ever seen before. From what I see on social media, and this is just bro science. I'm not a scientist. I don't do statistics. Although I did get an A- in stats in college. It seems like Republicans are ready to fight the virus with their immune systems, and they want to open up the economy. It seems to me that Democrats want to fight the virus by staying shelter in place and get stimulus checks coming from the government. That's what I see on fucking social media. Democrats are against this economy opening up. And they hate Donald Trump that much that they're willing to ruin our economy. They are willing to ruin the economy to try and make Donald Trump look bad for the next election. Who the fuck hates their president that much that they're willing to ruin the fucking economy. I was never a Barack Obama fan. Didn't vote for the man. In fact, I voted for two people that I find despicable that were running against him. I voted for John McCain, who's a piece of shit. I voted for Mitt Romney, who's a piece of shit. I voted for two pieces of shit because I still thought they were better than Barack Hussein Obama. And I still, when Obama was president, I would have never advocated ruining our fucking economy to make Obama look bad. It doesn't work. People that don't like Obama already don't like Obama. We didn't have to trash the economy. I mean, you're not going to change people's minds by trashing the economy. This is one divisive country we live in. And the COVID-19 is really, really just, I mean, it's the most divisive thing, I think, in the history of the United States. I mean, more than Barack Obama and racism, by far. By far. This has divided our country more than racism when we elected our first black president. By far. These anti-Trumpers, I don't know why I understand why they dislike the man so bad. I mean, but come on, man. Look. I gotta piss. Donald Trump is an egotist. I mean, a lot of people will use harsher words, but I'm not a licensed psychologist. I'm not able to diagnose people. But you don't need a psychology license. You don't have to be a licensed doctor of psychiatry to say someone's an egotist. And a lot of these words Democrats throw around are genuine medical diagnosis. And I'm just not qualified to do that. How can you hate someone this much because they're an egotist? I'm an egotist. I love myself. Is fat? No staying at home. No, staying at home is ruining Trump. I don't know what that means. I mean, if you're not an egotist, you got to love yourself. I love myself. Look, as fat as I am, I still think I look 100 times better than other people because I'm bigger than them and I can kick their ass. And that's how I see myself in my brain. You know, like some little underwear model with abs, you know, to the average person, they might look better than me, but I don't see some little pussy with ab muscles looking better than me. I'll punch his fucking face. How good's he going to look with a bloody fucking nose? So it's just, we're all somewhat egotist. You know, people say, oh, Donald Trump's a misogynist. Well, I guess I am too. I mean, after I fuck a chick real good, I want her to make me a sandwich. Does that make me a misogynist? That I want, after I'm done fucking a chick real good, taking that bitch to fucking zero, showing her who daddy is. Yeah, damn right. I think I deserve for her to make me a sandwich. Am I a misogynist? Are you going to label me Oh, Big J's a misogynist. He thinks he should get served a sandwich after he fucks a girl. Goddamn right I do. Goddamn right I do. The Democrats are even trying to inject racism into this coronavirus nonsense. It's disproportionately attacking the black urban community. What? They're the Democrats love to say that we don't like science. Do you really think that virus sees skin color? Technically, viruses aren't even alive. They're not a living organism, technically. I think bacteria are, though, right? Bacteria are actually living. Viruses are not. If I'm correct. So, here's the reason why the COVID-19 is killing so many African Americans. Now, no one's going to dispute the fact that people with hypertension, which is high blood pressure, and people with diabetes are high risk. Okay? Those are just facts. No one's disputing those. There's hypertension and diabetes, that puts you at high risk for death if you get the COVID-19. So, now, what condition leads to those two things? What common condition leads to both of those two things? Obesity, okay? Obesity can cause diabetes. Obesity can cause hypertension. Now, that's a fact. We don't need to discuss that. Anyone who disagrees with that is a fucking idiot. So, back to my original point. Why is the COVID-19 killing so many African Americans who become infected? Because African Americans are more likely to be obese than white Americans. It's that simple. It's not racism. They're just more prone to obesity. It's not their skin color. It's the fact that they're more prone to obesity. It has nothing to do with race. So when you talk about race, you make yourself sound stupid. Minorities dying because they live in squalor like the savages they are. I don't think I should agree with that, but it's funny. No. Now, in the urban areas, the disease is spreading like wildfire because of the density, population density. Population density is not a racial term, but minorities tend to live in urban areas. It has nothing to do with the color of their skin. It's the fact that they live in areas that have an increased population density. So the disease is going to spread more rapidly. And they have a higher rate of obesity. So the mortality rate is going to be higher. It has nothing to do with color of skin. But I'm getting worn out. This thing is literally killing me, and I don't even have it. Well, I think I did have it, and I conquered it. I think I should be the one who fucking volunteers for one of these trials on the vaccine. I think Big J could be a good person to volunteer for one of these trials to get the vaccine. You inject me with a little COVID-19, and I will drink a gallon of malt liquor and smoke a pack of menthol cigarettes, and I will defeat that virus because nothing can live in that environment. With a gallon of malt liquor and a pack of smokes coursing through your system, nothing can survive. It's science, and I know science. Dark skin doesn't make vitamin D well. I didn't know that. Well, good thing we got vitamin D in milk. I drink so much goddamn milk. I'm not worried about my D. We need to do something about this account. I've got 13 of you guys watching, and it should be at least 3 times that. At least. Hey, Big J, heads up. Your fan club is calling ourselves Masters Baiters, unless you have any suggestions. No, I like that. That's good. Sounds good to me, brah. We should get our own Facebook page with everyone who has a troll account. I don't really do Facebook much. Facebook is so fucking lame. I get on Facebook and it's just half the people like Trump, the other half hate him. There's no other good content. That's all there is. Fuck milk. Why don't you fuck the goat with the milk? You might change your own, When was the last time you fucked a good goat? Nothing wrong with a good goat. Are you still in the coronavirus cycle? I don't know what that would be. Good anti-coronavirus cycle would be like Test, Anavar, and Masteron. I need some Smokey, Chokey, Chokeys. Alright, I think we've killed about every topic between my Delray Misfits live stream and the Detroit Diesel live stream. Anybody have any interesting comments? All 14 of you. I'm grateful for all 15 of you. Just went up to 15. They got my Prime account. The Bedroom Bully is still blocked from going live. Because that comment I made when Brad was on live with me about wanting to rape Nancy Pelosi with a rusty shovel. Instagram hates me. Well, it's Zuckerberg. Kim Jong-un pics released. What, is he alive or dead? I'm wondering if that government will collapse if Kim Jong-un dies. I don't know if I would want to be his sister, the next in line, if he dies. I think someone might come in and slit her throat. I don't think that generals I mean, imagine what a stressful job that is, being a top general for Kim Jong-un. I wouldn't want that stress. So if he died, and you know generals have got troops that are loyal to them, I would send an assassin group after the sister and bring on a full military coup. Because odds are once the sister comes in, she's not going to like you anyway. You're probably already a dead man. So why not kill her first? I need some Q-tips. After today's shower, I feel like I got a little water in my hair. Yeah, fuck Kim Jong-un. Alright, guys. I appreciate your support. We're up to 17, now down to 15. I don't really have anything to talk about. I seem to have kind of lost my steam. I don't want to bore you guys to death because I want the content here to be riveting. Every time I go live, I want it to be riveting. What we need my goddamn bedroom bully account to get off the banned list. I'd love to see that account get 100 people again. Man, back in the early days, the biggest downside of this pandemic are that many hookers aren't coding devices anymore. They say no because of COVID. That's true. Jay, is Kim still married and does her husband still live in the house? Why don't you send her a direct message and ask her that? She never answered the question. Yeah. I like O.J. Simpson from his USC days, especially when he was doing his work with the machete. No, dude, I grew up in a weird era of sports. Um, by the time I became, old enough to watch sports, um, the two players that were on the downside slide of their career are two of the greatest evers, and they had gone to teams um, where they just didn't belong. Like when I was a kid, I can't remember Joe Namath as a Jet. I remember Joe Namath with the L.A. Rams. Okay? I don't remember OJ with the Bills. I remember OJ, I believe, at the San Francisco 49ers. Am I getting that right? Where did OJ go? I think OJ went to San Francisco from the Bills. And I know Joe Namath went to the LA Rams. I remember way back in the 70s, we were up north in northern Michigan skiing, and we walk into this bar to get dinner, and there was football on. And actually, I do remember OJ with the Bills. I remember looking at the screen, I'm like, I don't remember who was with me. Obviously, parents of some sort. I was like, oh my God, that's O.J. Simpson. We got to watch the game. And I remember one of the adults I was with just like, that's not O.J. Simpson. And I didn't quite understand what they meant. But now I do. when a player plays past his prime, you know, that's not O.J. Simpson. You know, I watched a YouTube video last night. Um, it may have been an ESPN piece about Brett Favre. And Brett Favre's a great example of that, too. He went to the Jets, then went to the Vikings. And, you know, you would tell your kids, like, oh my God, Brett Favre's on TV. And you'd be like, it's not Brett Favre. Not the Brett Favre I want to remember. And if any of you are old enough to remember Joe Willie Weekney's name as a Ram, now, who remembers Joe Montana becoming a Kansas City Chief? You know? And now, we got Tom Brady becoming a Tampa Bay Buccaneer. Oh, Susie just said the same thing. Brady and Gronk in Tampa. Now, can Gronk pass his physical, not only for his concussions, but his marijuana use? Who's your favorite baseball player, Jay? That's a great question. I want to say Ty Cobb, because I'm a Detroit Tigers fan. And I love everything about Ty Cobb. But I never saw Ty Cobb play. Ty Cobb, I think, died in the 1960s as an alcoholic old man before I was even born. So my favorite Detroit Tiger in my lifetime, or my favorite Detroit Tiger of all time, Ty Cobb. Period. Done deal. Favorite Detroit Tiger of my lifetime? God damn, I might have to go Kirk Gibson. Kirk Gibson. Yep, Gibby. That dude was a stud. Kirk Gibson was a man. He played wide receiver for the Michigan State Spartans. Didn't play any college baseball. He went to Michigan State on a football scholarship. Was an All-American wide receiver. And so, I got fucking problems here. So Gibby is an All-American football year for the Michigan State Spartans. And Gibby is expected to get ready for the draft, expected to do workouts for NFL teams. You guys know the drill if you're sports fans. So what does Kirk Gibson do? He's a guaranteed going to the NFL. All-American fucking wide receiver. Blistering speed for a white boy. Great hands. Smart. Knows the playbook. I mean, he's getting drafted no matter what. So, what he does in sports history is fucking brilliant. He doesn't want to do all the workouts for the pro teams leading up to the NFL draft. So what he does is he goes out for the baseball team. Hasn't played baseball since his 12th grade year in high school, right? Goes All-American in baseball. All of a sudden now, he's draftable in both sports. He chooses baseball for longevity and not getting injured. Quite possibly the best decision in sports history was Kirk Gibson choosing baseball over football. And he never played college baseball until his senior year. How many of you guys knew that history? Gibby. There's a few other Tigers. Like, I got to see, I don't know how, you guys might not know about this, but the Tigers had a very special pitcher in the 70s named Mark the Bird Fidrych, who came from Minnesota. I got to see Mark the Bird Fidrych pitch in person. I wouldn't say he's my favorite Tiger, but seeing the Bird, Mark Fidrych, pitch in person, that's history right there. My childhood idol, University of Michigan quarterback Rick Leach, number 7, played for the Wolverines. My number 1 athlete as a kid, loved Rick Leach, number 7, quarterback, ran the fucking option, tough, white. Ooh, I said white. He wound up playing for the Tigers. But he wouldn't be my favorite Tiger. I have to go with Ty Cobb or Gibby. I can't think of anybody else. Ty Cobb or Gibby. I don't know. You know, and Gibby is so recognized as being a great Dodger. Gibby was... Yeah, I'm glad Gibby did well with the Dodgers. Blowjob stories. Shit. Thoughts on Bonds claiming Natty in an interview? That's silly. That's saying like Mark McGuire was just doing Androstein. Some people think Barry Bonds may have been one of the best baseball players in the history of baseball. I don't know. I mean, that's such a tough question. You know, what are you going to build a team around? You know, I think this is going to... This is going to shock you guys. But if I was going to build a baseball team and I could draft people, you know who I'm picking first? And I'm a Tigers fan. So this number 1 pick is going to shock the fuck out of you people. I'm building a baseball team from scratch. My first pick is Derek Jeter, shortstop, New York Yankees, the captain. Derek Jeter, I think could be, if you include off the field behavior as part of the protocol for who's the greatest baseball player in history, Derek Jeter, no doubt. Because a lot of people that you may consider better ball players than Derek Jeter had off the field issues. But that wasn't what I just said. I said if I'm building a ball club from scratch, my first pick is Derek Jeter. Because I want a captain who's got character, who's going to keep my other ball players in line. If I take Derek Jeter as my number one pick, all my other players are going to be better players. See what I'm saying? They're going to play to the full potential of their talent because their captain is just an exemplary man. Ty Cobb's racism wouldn't go down well in the modern game. There's a reason they called him the Georgia Peach. What was McGuire's stack? I think he was on the 90s favorite, Sestanon and Decca. Well, that's a good one. I love Decca. I get so thick and strong on Decca. Obviously, I don't really care about appearance. I mean, look at me. Decca just makes you strong and thick. Oh. I'm pissing at a jug right now. I wish it was your mother's mouth. Jeter is a mulatto monkey. I think Derek Jeter is a good man. And I hate the Yankees. So I think that means a lot. That a guy who hates the Yankees thinks so highly of Derek Jeter. That's what kind of guy he is. Because I detest the Yankees. I'm getting tired. I need Smokey, Chokey, Chokey. See, a little nicotine will increase my energy. Are any of you guys good with memes? That would be a funny meme with Baby Yoda saying Smokey, Chokey, Chokey, and then show Big J with a menthol. Was the Edmund Fitzgerald bigger than the Titanic? I'm not sure. You can't really compare a cruise ship to a freighter. The Edmund Fitzgerald was an iron ore freighter. Dude, for some reason, 728 jumped into my brain. Someone Google check that right now. If the Edmund Fitzgerald was fucking 728 feet long, I'm a genuine idiot savant. But I'm thinking the Edmund Fitzgerald was what did I say? 728. I'm gonna stick by that. I'm willing to bet the Edmund Fitzgerald was 728 because that name that would not have come into my brain if I hadn't seen it somewhere else. Why? Chuck E. Cheese Ranch. What's up, brah? 729? Fuck you. I was off by a foot? Fuck you. 222 meters. How was I off by a foot? I think it's the metric to English conversion. I think it's 728. Jay just pissed, yes. Fuck that 729. But thank you for your information. I believe the 222 meters. Yeah, it was off by a foot. I need Smokey, Chokey, Chokey. And then have be a great meme in the jug. That brown jug of piss that I'm going to pour down Hamburg's neck. Is Hamburg slowly going away? I hope. Ugh. Show us the jug, Jay. Dude, I gotta admit this. I accidentally drank a sip of my own piss last night. I didn't realize I had finished my half gallon of milk, and I'd started using the empty half gallon as my piss jug. I woke up in the middle of the night and took a little drink. I thought I was going to taste milk. It wasn't milk. You know how many times I've done that? I'm such a retard. Piss better than bong water? Absolutely. Bong water is disgusting. Smokey, smoke, chokey, choke. Yes, Father. What time is it, guys? 16. Is it 4:17 on the East Coast? I cracked up when you said you were going to bite Hamburg's nose off and send him back across the Atlantic to his family without a nose. That dude. Dude, at my age, if someone confronts you in a fight, there's no rules. My clock says 16:18. So 12 from 16 is 4, right? Yeah. I run my clock on military time because that way I don't fuck up with the trucking business. The trucking business runs on military time. Yeah, dude, if it comes down to life or death, and you're not willing to bite someone to win a fight, I guarantee you if your wife or kids were dependent on it, you'd bite someone. Yeah, there's a lot of Jewish women that are very sexy. Yeah, I have no problem with the Jewish people. I mean, how many Jews are milking the system and not working and just living on welfare? Not many. I might be out of beer. One left. Kidding me? I'm on my last beer. So in 2 hours, I basically drank 2 4-packs of Tall Boys. That's not good. That's called power slamming. Alright, mates. Thank you guys for the support on this channel. Please try and spread this channel around. I would appreciate it.